What is going on, guys? This was Dog Gaming with my review of Naruto chapter 657, and I know it's only the second chapter since Madara has came back to life, but this chapter it was pretty good. Now, hopefully, this can continue happening, and we get these good chapters with Madara being the main villain, because he is definitely bringing this series back in a great way. So it starts off with his eyes falling out, and of course now because he has no eyes, he is clearly blind. So I'm thinking that even though he had the internal Mangekyo Sharingan and he had the Rinnegan, and I know that he gave his eyes to Nagato, well at least one of them anyway. Well actually no, he had to give both of them to Nagato, but we see when Obito was like saved by him, he still had one eye. So maybe he had to use somebody else's eyes. But anyway, Madara is now going to use Obito eyes. At least that's the plan because he is dying. But we see that at least for now he's blind. But Sasuke actually did the surprise attack on him with a Amaterasu. And of course normally this attack would be deadly because these flames never go out or supposedly. And with Madara not having any eyes, it makes you wonder what he's going to do. But he's actually, dealing with this like it's no problem. And he actually absorbs it. Like, I don't know how he can do that. But he can, like, even though he no longer has the Rinnegan, he can absorb, ninjutsu with no problem. And also, I've been wondering, how in the world did Hashirama get these black rods inside of him? Because they never showed that. So it's like, we're confused about, like, where they came from. Because I'm pretty sure those are the rods that would normally be in, let's say, Nagato or one of his path of the six sage bodies. So I'm wondering, like, how in the world did Madara manage to get those inside of him if we never saw that? Because it's obvious it came from him because he is the one that he's been fighting all this time. So Madara, bites himself, and then he charges at Hashirama, and we see that even though these ninjas are getting in his way, it's like he can still see because he's like dodging and attacking at the same time. And so we see that he grabs Hashirama, and he starts absorbing his chakra, and we see that the Hashirama that's on his chest because he no longer wearing his armor. That Hashirama actually goes into Sage mode. But Madara made a comment about how the level of the power, it was disappointing, but it's only because Hashirama is in his Edo Tensei form, which means that he cannot be at his full power. So like even though normally somebody who has never gone into Sage mode wouldn't know how to control it, and they'll be turning or something. But because this level of power is so weak, and mainly it's because it's Madara freaking Uchiha, he can control it with no problem. So now think of Madara being in his own Sage mode. But we see that that Sasuke is just not giving up his attack, and it is pretty cool to see Sasuke going in because normally like most characters wouldn't do that. But for some reason, Hashirama couldn't move at all, and it's definitely because of the black rods. But we have no idea how they got into him, so it is kind of confusing. Like I wish Kishimoto, would explain that. And I do wonder now that Madara has absorbed the chakra, what's going to happen to him? Because we see that he's falling apart. So maybe Hashirama can actually go away. But I'm hoping that right there won't be the case. But Sasuke and Madara, they had like a pretty cool, back and forth. And at one point, Madara actually takes his sword through his arm and actually, stop it with his with his hand. So that right there, what it was like interesting to see. And because he's in Sage mode, at least using it, he is able to sense his Mangekyo Sharingan, and he was actually planning on taking Sasuke's eyes till he get his back, of course. But now we have the Black Zetsu, who is still there by Obito, but he's no longer attached to him. But when Zetsu was actually going to take his eyes to give to Madara, we have Minato and Kakashi, charging them for the attack. And now I was surprised that they were too slow, to get to him before he fused with Obito, because they are right there. And Minato is, so freaking fast that you could think that he could stop him with no problem. But now that the Zetsu is attached to Obito, he can actually control his body, and he's also keeping him alive for now at least. And so Zetsu was actually able to escape because he actually was pinned down by what's his name? I forgot the name of that guy's sword, but he one of the new members of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist. He was actually pinned down by his sword, but he actually detached himself, and part of him, moved back, and Black Zetsu, or Madara will you should say, was actually able to like move within the ground. So that right there was like definitely cool to see, and I like how him and Madara had like this telepathy going on. So that right there was like pretty cool. But I do wonder for like how long is Madara's will, or Black Zetsu, going to attach himself to Obito, because not only is Obito no longer needed, but he is going to die anyway, and Madara wants his eyes, so it makes sense that that Zetsu won't stay to him for long. Like, and it's possible when Zetsu does go back to his body, he might take his eyes with him, because he's like right now Zetsu is in control of Obito's body, so it's possible that either he'll make Obito run to Madara, or he'll pull his eyes out and go back to his own body and take down Madara. But clearly, something's gonna happen like that. But now Madara would actually offering Sasuke like to team up with him, because they are the last Uchiha, and even though that right there would be interesting, like if Sasuke were actually still evil, I might actually consider it happening. But Sasuke turned him down, and he just said that he wants his head. So that right there was like definitely pretty cool. And for some reason, Hashirama was able to tell that Madara was like back at full power from like one jutsu. But I'm guessing like this jutsu he did was just like on a huge scale, because like in one panel we just see all these fire ninjas go flying back. So I'm guessing it was definitely like that. But on the last page, if you look at that first panel, we see that he's stepping on a ninja, and he's like absorbing his chakra along with like Naruto's chakra cloak, and it's healing him. So I'm definitely wondering like how is Madara doing this? Like hopefully he'll like explain it. But now he's going to start hunting down the Bijuu, and that right there is going to be pretty freaking amazing. Like even though Madara is blind, he's still putting in work, and he's just crazy. So clearly, we now have a good villain. We now have an amazing villain, and I couldn't be happier. Hopefully, Naruto continue being on this good pace, because I'm definitely enjoying this right now. I cannot wait to see Madara go after these Bijuu, because that right there is going to be a fight to see. But as always, guys, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. But as always, you guys take it easy, and I'll see you all next time.